NFL Week 17 picks, starting things off with Cowboys at the Titans Thursday Night Football. The Cowboys are favored by 10 on the road. There's simply no way I can pick the Titans right now. They're absolutely in shambles. They just fell below 500 after their loss versus the Texans last week. The Cowboys are coming off a nice bounce back win. Yes, 10 points is a big spread, but I'm going to pick the Cowboys to cover it and win straight up just because the Titans are simply a mess right now. Saints at the Eagles. The Eagles are favored by a touchdown at home. This is a super interesting game because we don't know if Jalen Hurts is going to play yet. I feel like he's not going to play. The Saints, they haven't been very good this year, right? But they are fighting for a playoff spot and just pulled off a nice win in Cleveland in frigid temperatures and conditions. I'm going to pick the Eagles to win this one straight up, even if Minshew is starting. They almost took down the Cowboys, and the Cowboys are a much, much better team than the Saints. But I think I'm going to pick the Saints +7. I think they're going to be competitive in this game because, like I said, they are fighting for a playoff spot. So Saints +7. But the Eagles to win straight up. Bears at the Lions. The Lions are favored by 6 at home. The Lions just lost versus the Panthers. Their run game got shut down. Their defensive line could not stop the Panthers' run game. It was a pretty bad game from one of the hottest teams in the league, but I think they bounce back versus the Bears. The Bears are in contention for the #1 overall pick now after the Titans lost to the Texans. So I'm going to take the Lions to win, and I'm going to take them to cover the spread. I think they are going to bounce back because they need to. They know they need to bounce back in this game if they want to make the playoffs versus a team that is really bad right now. Panthers at the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are favored by 3 at home. This is a tough game because my head and numbers-wise, I want to go with the Panthers because I'm like, the Panthers, their run game was on fire last week. They had 2 rushers. They had Foreman and Hubbard. Both rushed for over 100 yards each. That's insane. They had both those guys rush for over 100 yards. Their defensive line shut down the Lions' run game, only allowed them to rush for 40-something yards. Like Jared Goff was their leading rusher. And that makes me want to go with the Panthers. Like Steve Wilkes is doing a great job. But if the Bucs win, they clinch a playoff spot. They clinch the division. And feeling-wise, I just can't see Tom Brady losing in that situation. Yes, I know Tom Brady hasn't been playing like Tom Brady, but I just can't see him losing in that spot. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go with the Bucs to win, and I'm going to take the Panthers +3, though. This is such a tough game to decide. I want to ride with Tom Brady. He shouldn't have gone to overtime versus the Cardinals. He should have handled business earlier in that game, which makes me not super confident in this team. But come on, the playoffs are getting close, and we know that's when Brady shines. So give me the Bucs to win this one straight up, but give me the Panthers +3. This should be a really, really good game. Both these teams are trying to win that division. Broncos at the Chiefs. The Chiefs are favored by 13. The Chiefs finally snapped out of winning games by just a little bit in games where they should have won by a lot. They dominated the Seahawks last week, and I'm going to pick them to cover this spread, even though they didn't last time when they played the Broncos. They didn't cover the spread last time they played the Broncos, which was just a few weeks ago. But listen, the Broncos just gave up 50 points versus the Rams. They gave up 50 points versus the Rams and Baker Mayfield, who has been on that team for a few weeks. Do you know what this Chiefs offense is going to do versus them at home in Kansas City? Give me the Chiefs to cover and give me them to win straight up. The Broncos are a mess right now. I mean, Nathaniel Hackett isn't even the head coach anymore. They couldn't even wait till the end of the season to fire him. They had to fire him before the season even ended. Pretty brutal. Colts at the Giants. The Giants are favored by 5 at home. If the Giants win this game, they clinch. So a lot is on the line for them. I don't know who's going to be starting for the Colts. I don't know if they're going to continue to roll in Nick Foles after that terrible performance versus the Chargers on Monday Night Football. I'm going to pick the Giants to win straight up, and I'm going to pick them to cover the 5-point spread. Jaguars at the Texans. The Texans are 4-point underdogs at home. I got to roll with the Jaguars to cover this spread and win straight up because they have been on fire. They have been rolling a big win versus the Cowboys. An impressive win on a short week versus the Jets. Yes, I know Zach Wilson played terrible, but Trevor Lawrence played well versus a pretty good defense. I mean, that defense had like one good play in the beginning there by Quinnen Williams, but he still got this team the victory versus one of the best defenses in the league. Trevor's been playing really, really well as of late, so give me the Jaguars, like I said, straight up and to cover the spread. Cardinals at the Falcons. The Falcons are favored by 3.5 at home. The Falcons have really fell off in the second half of the season. Desmond Ridder does not have an NFL win yet. Cardinals actually took the Bucs to overtime. So I was actually kind of impressed by what they were able to do versus the Bucs because I thought that game was going to be a blowout. I thought it was going to be all Bucs. I'm going to take the Cardinals +3.5 here. Okay, like the Falcons don't really impress me. They don't really get me excited. So yeah, give me the Cardinals +3.5. I don't really have faith in the Cardinals, but I'll take the points with them, but I will take the Falcons to win straight up at home. this game doesn't excite me. I don't really have strong feelings about either of these teams winning this game. I'm not going to touch this one. Browns at the Commanders. The Commanders are favored by 2.5 at home, so we don't know who's starting at quarterback for the Commanders right now. If I'm Ron Rivera, I would go with Taylor Heineke, but I don't know. He might go with Carson Wentz. I'm not a huge Carson Wentz fan. I think Heineke brings more to the team, even if it's just charisma and just getting the guys going and having them be like, yeah, like he just seems like a more of a charismatic guy, more of a team player, hyped up guy. So, with all of that being said about personalities, whoever's starting at quarterback, I got to go with the Commanders. I got to go with them. Brian Robinson has been really good this season, and when they give the ball to him, and when they feed him the ball, good things happen. I think they got to feed him the ball more, honestly. They're fighting for their playoff lives right now. They're trying to get that last seed in the NFC, that last wild card spot. Browns are out of the playoffs. Washington's at home. They lost a tough one versus the 49ers, but I mean, who expected them to win versus the 49ers? So give me Washington to win this one and cover the spread. They're fighting for the playoff lives here, and I think they come through and get the win. Dolphins at the Patriots. The Patriots are favored by 2.5 at home, and this is a tricky game because Tua went into concussion protocol a day after their game versus the Packers, and they don't know if he's going to play this week. Honestly, I feel like he's not going to play. With Tua's concussion history and everything, it's really scary how the Dolphins have kind of just not been able to handle the situation well. The Patriots almost won after being down 22-0 at half versus the Bengals. They fell just short of a comeback. I mean, they fell just yards short of a comeback because they fumbled in the red zone late in this game. I'm going to go with the Patriots to win this one straight up and cover the spread. This defense, it picked off Joe Burrow a ton. If they picked off Joe Burrow a ton, a guy who's been playing like an MVP, I think they'll be able to pick off whoever's playing quarterback for the Dolphins, whether that's Tua or Teddy Bridgewater or Skylar Thompson. I don't know who they're going to start. Whoever they end up starting, I just think the Patriots have a better matchup right here. And the Dolphins have just been so cold. This losing streak is really starting to pile up the number of L's they've lost in a row. So give me the Patriots here. Jets at the Seahawks. The Seahawks are 2.5-point underdogs at home. So both these teams are going through a cold patch right now. I would say the Seahawks cold stretch has been a little bit longer than the Jets. The Jets cold streak really comes with Zach Wilson having to be inserted at quarterback after the Mike White injury. This Jets defense, though, is really good because of their defense. Not because of their offense, it's because of their defense. I don't like this Seahawks offense going up against this Jets defense. I don't think they're going to be able to do stuff. Mike White should be back at quarterback for the Jets this week. He actually is going to be back at quarterback for the Jets. He has been cleared. So give me the Jets to win this one on the road and give me them to cover that 2.5-point spread. I think this defense is going to be able to win this game for the Jets. The offense just has to play clean football and put up a few points. 49ers at the Raiders. The 49ers are favored by 6 on the road. I simply cannot pick against a team that has won 8 in a row. I can't go against a team like that. So give me the 49ers to win this one straight up and giving them to cover the 6 points. Derek Carr threw 3 interceptions last week versus the Steelers. Going against this really good, probably the best defense in the league of the 49ers. I think he's going to throw 3 more or something. So 49ers to win and cover. Rams at the Chargers. The Chargers are at home technically, but both these teams play at SoFi, so it's not really an away game for the Rams. Rams just put up 50 versus a very decent Broncos defense. This Chargers defense has struggled at times this year, but they held the Colts to just 3 points in their last matchup. Yes, the Colts offense was really bad with Nick Foles under center, but still, it's impressive not to give up a touchdown, right? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go with the Chargers straight up. I think Justin Herbert should have a nice bounce back game. He didn't play super well in their win versus the Colts. I think he should be able to do things versus Rams defense that will probably be without Aaron Donald again. I saw reports that said he's probably going to be shut down for the season, but I'm going to take the Rams plus 6.5. Baker Mayfield was really effective in their win versus the Broncos. Cam Akers had a really great game. This offense was just super efficient. So I think they'll be able to run the ball versus this Chargers defense. So give me Rams plus 6.5, Chargers straight up. Vikings at the Packers. The Packers are favored by 3.5 at home. Oof. This game should have been prime time. I don't know why this game wasn't Sunday Night Football. Like, this is going to be a great game. The Vikings have been so hot all season, 12 wins, had an incredible season or are having an incredible season. The Packers started the season really bad. Their first loss was versus the Vikings. You guys remember that? Remember that way back in week 1? And that's what kind of started their downfall. But all of a sudden, they're on a win streak. They're still in playoff contention. They have to win this game versus their division rival. They want to be in that last wild card spot. Will they do it at Lambeau? I don't know. Is Kirk Cousins going to be okay in this game? It's not 1 o'clock. It's not prime time. Will he be decent? Maybe. You know what I'm going to do, guys? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go with the Vikings. I'm going to go with the Vikings to win this one straight up, guys. I'm going to go with the Vikings to win this one straight up and take the 3.5 points with them. The Vikings have 12 wins. I don't know how much longer the Packers can sustain this winning streak. Yes, they have looked much better during this win streak, but the Vikings have just been the better team this whole entire year. So give me the Vikings to pull off what I think would be a very, very impressive upset. This is my upset pick of the week, guys. Vikings, I'm rolling with them. Steelers at the Ravens. The Ravens are favored by 3 at home. I'm recording this on a Tuesday, so I don't know if Lamar is going to be playing for the Ravens. The Steelers just had a nice win versus the Raiders in prime time on Saturday. Is that considered prime time Saturday night? I don't know. But Kenny Pickett has really been improving throughout his rookie season. If Lamar is not playing, I'm going to take the Steelers to win this one on the road. You know, Mike Tomlin never had a losing record. He's got to win this one to keep not having a losing record. So I'm going to go with history here. I'm going to go with Mike Tomlin not having a losing record still. Give me the Steelers to win this one, and I'll take them plus the 3 points. But if Lamar does play this one, I'm going to take the Ravens to win straight up and cover, just so we know. But I don't think he's going to play. Monday Night Football, we got a really, really good one. We got the Bills on the road versus the Bengals. The Bills are favored by 1 whole point. Both these teams are on pretty big win streaks. They've bounced back from early struggles during the season. Well, the Bengals struggle was really early in the year, like the first couple weeks. The Bills struggles were more like mid-season. This is tough to decide. Joe Burrow threw a handful of interceptions last week versus the Patriots. I'm going to go with the Bills here. I'm going to roll with the Bills. I feel like they're just the more complete team right now. I feel like I'm more confident in seeing what they've done the past few weeks and how they've played the past few weeks. So give me the Bills to win this one on the road. Ooh, which will be tough. Ooh, on the road. This will be a big win for the Bills. So give me the Bills to win this one on the road, and I'll take them to cover the 1 point spread. Let me know your upset pick of the week if you want a chance to be featured in next week's video like these people up here. Appreciate you guys watching. Peace.